talk about some of the fears associated with blended learning. We know that teaching, whether it's at the university, high school, elementary level, is a relational activity. The relationship between teacher and student is critical. And there is perhaps a fear once you start introducing online videos and various technological approaches that this is all some long game plan to basically replace teachers with videos and so forth. And you know, some of us are old enough to know years ago that there was plans afoot to have televisions in every room and professors or teachers would interact in that way. So I guess what we're looking at here is let's talk about how this is not some kind of cost-cutting measure, a way of making schools, you know, cheaper to run and more efficient, whatever. So maybe Brenda, do you mind trying to tackle that one?
That's the perspective that you just outlined there, Al, is one that has been said. I've heard that a million times. That belief that this is some kind of nefarious move to replace professors with computers, and you know. So to speak to it's not, and it's not. It doesn't actually save us money either. Unless it depends on how you measure that, I suppose. So I'll put it this way. We are very fortunate. I do have some money. So I have some money to put into this whole course redesign project. And because of the tremendous amount of work that it involves, the instructor who's doing or the professor does get a stipend, and we do assign them an instructional designer whose expertise is in course design. And then sometimes they need technological help as well. And so it's been this tremendous investment by the institution or by our faculty into these big first-year courses, and it hasn't really saved any money. Some courses have increased their capacity slightly because now they can have more students than fit into that one auditorium. And there's student demand, the students want to be there. So I don't know. I don't know that we're bringing more students in, but we're able to serve more students. That's good, but it's not really about money. And then I suppose if you looked very far down the road, perhaps it'll mean that Queen's won't need to build another big teaching building with another very large auditorium. So, you know, you can measure the cost savings that way. But that's about it, I think, from my perspective.
We're getting better results, slightly, but we're putting in the same effort to get those better results. So it allows us to do a better job. And I suppose if we were looking for the status quo, that means that we could pull back on resources and the students would be learning just as much as they had before. But that's not what we want to do. We don't want to deliver the same product with a little bit less effort. We want to make a better product, and we feel like we have. And it's really hard to think about going after the cost-cutting measures and delivering what we were delivering with less effort, because with the same effort we can, and you've seen it at Queen's as well, we can do so much more with the students and engage them so much more that we're just going to be, I think all of the universities are going to be kicking and screaming about cutting our budgets just because we're doing blended learning.
And it sounds too, just from what you're describing there, Paul and Brenda, that the essence of this approach is the face-to-face piece. And without the face-to-face piece, we're really just back into an online environment. And that seemingly would be, again, contrary to what you're working so hard to do.